I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Move It Fix. This is Move It Fix Monday. I'm here with Dr. Dan Pope, Fitness Pain Free.
Yeah.
And what we're going to talk about in this video is a very common complaint that athletes have, which is shoulder pain when doing shoulder to overhead movements, whether that's a barbell press, a push jerk. And we're going to take a look at what are some easy modifications that you can use for that person so they can find a pain-free training option.
You got it.
And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about why that's such a common issue.
Sure. I think we see this is probably one of the biggest things that I treat clinically. We see a lot of shoulder pain. This is usually people have pain kind of in the front or the side of the shoulder. What we believe is happening is when you're pressing overhead, it can be stressful on the rotator cuff if we have either too much overhead motion in general, or if there's just poor control of what's called the rotator cuff inside the shoulder, pulling the ball in the socket so you don't get impingement on some of these structures.
So when you say too much, you mean just maybe they're just doing too much volume?
I think so. That's
okay.
A big part of it. Sometimes
Yeah.
we think the shoulder joint is capable of as much as we want of it as long as our technique is good, and that's not really the case.
The anatomy may not allow that. Certain areas have to be maybe trained differently than other areas.
Yeah, and then you can build your capacity slowly over time, but every once in a while you're gonna have a workout in there that's way too much all at once, shoulder gets painful, or maybe your programming has too much too soon, or maybe it's too much in general over the course of an entire training cycle in general. Yeah.
Got it. So we have a barbell here. This looks like a 32 millimeter, 30 millimeter.
I don't even know.
That's like a powerlifting bar.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and bring that up to a front rack position.
Alrighty.
So in the front rack position, sometimes even this is just painful for the athlete. Having to like rotate your shoulder this way can be uncomfortable. There's also more wrist stress here. So if this is painful, go ahead and press. So let's say someone goes, oh, this is painful, ow, I don't like this. I would go, okay, great. Go ahead and set the bar down. And we have to consider what are our other training options. And you know, this is so totally aside from like thinking about volume or thinking about like strengthening the rotator cuff over time. Like that's a different conversation. This is how do we find pain-free training options today?
On the spot.
So I think the easiest thing that isn't considered, maybe because it's so easy, is just doing dumbbells. So go ahead and bring those dumbbells up to a front rack. And the first thing that we notice with the dumbbell is there's less wrist stress, there's less shoulder rotation required, like with the barbell in the front rack, and you don't have to stay on a fixed path in terms of the rotation of your shoulders. So we could go neutral grip here where the palms are facing each other. Go ahead and press straight up. And that little bit of going from neutral to essentially pronated, so go like a pronate, or like externally rotated, like that would be more similar to the barbell. So by going neutral, we're changing the angles at the shoulder joint. We're gonna stress it slightly differently. We're gonna have less stress in the shoulder, in the setup, and less wrist stress. Go ahead and set those down. Those heavy 25s for you?
Yeah, got a good burn.
But sometimes the simplest things are the best thing for somebody. So just just going straight from the barbell to the dumbbells is the first thing that you could try. Now, sometimes all overhead pressing options are not comfortable. So another variable we could think about changing would be the angle. And so a great modification for that would be something like a landmine press.
Yeah.
You think we could probably shimmy up a landmine here. So if we went here like this, and maybe you could show like a kneeling or like a lunge. Yeah, here. So you could do either here or you could go like in like an actual like active lunge.
Yeah.
And because we're not pressing straight up overhead, we're changing the angle. So go ahead and press. So that would be an option of changing the angle so you don't have to bring your arm up overhead quite as much. So this would be another option as well.
I like this one too.
This one's great when there is no shoulder rotation or apparatus that you can press overhead without pain. Then we start thinking about changing the actual pressing angle, and that gives us a pain-free option. You have anything to add to that?
I just think these are great options for coaches. You're always going to be dealing with people with shoulder pain. It's just part of the game sometimes.
Yeah.
So try the dumbbells. That's not working. Try something else. This landmine press is very helpful.
Yeah.
They're quick, they're easy, they're simple, and that's what you need as a coach.
Perfect, great. So that's what we got for you guys this week on Move It Fix Monday. If you do not follow Dan on Instagram, you can find him at Fitness Pain Free, and make sure to follow the Move It Fix at the Move It Fix, and we'll see you guys next week.